Hello, everyone. Do you know what? It's pretty scary. I'm sitting here watching the countdown and it ticks down and it ticks down and you're thinking, oh no, I'm going to be live in a minute. Hello and welcome. My name is Alisa Tilsner. I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator in Australia. Well, I live in Port Lincoln in South Australia, but I can service all of Australia. So welcome to wherever you are watching from. I am streaming live to both my Facebook group and also YouTube. So don't forget, if you're on the Facebook group, you need to give StreamYard permission to just see who you are, just give them access. And that way, when you comment, your name comes up in my feed and I can see who I'm chatting to. And if you are over on YouTube, you will need to sign into your Google account. A Google account is free. You don't have to, when you get a YouTube account, you don't have to be posting videos or anything. It's just so that you can post comments as well and chat with me while we are creating. So how is everybody this week? It's nearly the end of the week. Yay! My son has just started an apprenticeship and it's his first week. And I'm doing the mum thing. I know I probably shouldn't have to, considering he's nearly 19, but I have been getting up at the same time that he should be getting up. So I've been getting up at 6:30, but hubby gets up then anyway, so it's no big deal. But I'm starting to feel it after a couple of days, so I can only imagine how he's feeling after doing a full day's work as well. So welcome everyone. Jump in, tell me where you are watching from. And because I love to see how far I spread. Now I have got a few little things. I'm just heading over to the correct page where I can put all these little bits and pieces up. Make sure, do please make sure that you head over to my blog and sign up to my newsletter, because the cards that I create on our Thursday morning, I send them out in an email Friday morning as a fully written tutorial that you can then recreate. If you're a visual, then the video is fantastic, but if you like written instructions, then that is really handy as well. They go out every Friday morning, and I have started creating my cards in inches and then transferring them into centimeters, and the size that I'm doing should be able to I got to keep flicking backwards and forwards. Hello, Anita from New York. Woo, exciting. And then I switch them to centimeters. So the centimeters might seem a little bit unusual if you're used to working in centimeters. But the great thing is that if you have a Stampin' Up trimmer, it's super easy, because the trim is both centimeters and inches. So, it should be pretty easy to follow along with the instructions. So just a few little things before we get started. I have my February host code going. So when you purchase with me via my online store during February and your minimum spend is at least $75, then in March I will send you a pack of the new, they're not new anymore, are they? But in color jewels, because I figure I've nearly run out of mine. So you go through them. Anything sparkly, I go through them pretty quick. So it's time to get some more of these guys going. And also more exciting stuff this morning. I have released my Flowering Rain Boots class by mail. So I do have 3 options for these. So you can get the whole, I'll run through them when we flip over the camera and give you a quick look of what you get in each of the options. But this has just released this morning. So, and I have sign-ups already and PDFs sold already. So that is fantastic. Thank you very much. And this will be open for 7 days, and then I will close that. And then one final thing is that it's still celebration, and down here in the South Pacific, our celebration is being extended to the 16th of March. Which means you can still take advantage of our fantastic joining up special. So when you join and you get your starter kit, you'll get an extra 2 free stamp sets. You start off on 20% discount. So if you are finding that you are purchasing loads and loads, you might want to think about joining up, so you can save your 20% minimum. You might even get to 25% in your savings. But we have an absolutely fantastic team. I have a beautiful team of people from all over Australia, and we have some colour challenges. I have some giveaways. Everybody gets all my PDFs that I offer, so there's loads and loads of extra value, and you get to be in a little stamping community as well, which is really nice. Hello, Rhonda from Oklahoma. Stamping Elegance. Jan, hello, from Perth. Is it early in Perth? What time? I can't never remember how far the difference is between. I know the eastern states, but I can never remember the other side. And Sandy, hello, welcome. Okay, well, I hope I'm in I don't think anybody's watching from my Facebook group. Oh, yes, I do have. I was just about to say I don't think anyone's watching from Facebook group. So I have someone who is watching, but unfortunately I can't see your name. But hello. This is going to sound a little bit pluggish and me. So 7:38. Oh gosh, that's early. So what's that? Two and a half hours? I think must be. I do prefer, this is going to be a me thing. I do prefer if you watch from YouTube, because I get a little bit of money from it. Not a lot of money. I don't make a lot of money I only make about $30 a month. I don't make a lot of money at all. So when you're watching from YouTube, it really, really helps me out, because I'm still trying to grow that, and I'm trying to grow that little income side, but I think it'll take a while. So, okay, let's get swung around. I'm just going to go through quickly my class by mail, and then we'll get into what I want to show you today, and hopefully it works out. Now, wait a minute. I've got to press all the right buttons here. So I need to press that one, I do believe, and then swing that one over. Hooray! It's good. It's exciting. Okay, so I'm going to do a quick flick through the cards that are in class by mail. So really, really quickly, because I don't normally give away too much. So I'm just going super quick. Okay, that's it. That's all you're getting. I'm going to put them behind me. Now, when you do, I have 3 options. So option 1 is Flowering Rainbows stamp set, which is what we're going to be using today. And then you get a 1/4 pack of the Designer Series paper, which I am actually using, not all the florals, but I'm using that one, but I'm actually using the B-side for these cards. So I'm using those ones. So they are really super pretty, and there's so many different I love that type of design. I just think it's so pretty. So hello from Virginia, from the States. I got lots of people from the States watching. Thank you. So you'll get the stamp set, you'll get a 1/4 pack of Designer Series paper, and the brushed brass butterflies. I got to say that slowly. Brushed brass butterflies. I love these. That's not my usual go-to type of embellishment, but I really, really have been enjoying playing with them. So, and you get the card kit, you get envelopes, you get the instructions. Usually, well, I won't say usually, you get a little treat from me as well, a little 3D item with a little something inside. So that's all option 1. With this one, if you do wish to have the dies added on, you can do that, and then you get to pick a celebration item. So I haven't used these 2. So if you don't want the dies, you probably can hand cut your images if you like. Option 2, remove the stamp set. You'll get 1/4 pack of Designer Series paper, and the butterflies, the card kit, the envelopes, the instructions, and everything else. And then the final one, which is option 3, for all my friends in the US and Canada and the UK and everywhere else who kept saying to me, can you please sell your instructions just as a tutorial? So that I have done, and option 3 is just the tutorial in inches and centimeters. So to help everybody out. Okay, let's get stuck in. Good morning, Leanne. Nice to have you join us. Okay, so what I'm going to do, and I'm going to have to keep bringing things up to the camera because unfortunately I can't zoom in like I would like to. So this is what, I don't know whether we're going to get to make a full card today or not, but we'll see how we go. And if everybody wants to hang around, I'm happy to make the full card. This is what it looks like when you stamp with your images just as is. Now, if you follow me in my Facebook, or I think I posted it on Instagram as well, I did have a little image where I've colored. You can just use a water painter and just paint over the top. Not all the inks bleed. The darker, richer colors will bleed. The Poppy Parade bleeds nicely, but not all of the lighter colors will bleed. And that will give you sort of a watercolored look. But then I had a little play, and it's sort of like a little faux coloring, faux easy introduction to blends. No line. It's not really no line because it's coloring a solid image instead of a line art image, but just sort of enhanced it a little bit. And it is super, super easy to do because you already know where you need to put your colorings. So that is what I thought I might show you today. And then if we feel like it, we can hang around and make the full card. So the colors that I'm going to be using are Petal Pink, Poppy Parade, Pool Party, and I'm going to use Old Olive. It is Pear Pizzazz in the designer series paper, but it gets really super dark. So, and we don't have Pear Pizzazz blends, we have Old Olive blends. So anyway, so I'm going to ink up first in my Petal Pink. So did you see the graphic that I had with my class coming soon, and it had pink rain boots? We call them gum boots here. I don't know what you call them, but it had pink ones, and I thought, when I was creating this yesterday, I thought, I'm going to do pink gum boots. So, and then we just need, so there's your normal stamping, and then we need our light and our dark Petal Pink blends. So I'm going to I always use my bullet tip, and I am going to come here where you can see me. So basically any of this is super easy. Anywhere where there's dark areas on your image here, you are going to just color straight over the top with your dark blend. So I can just go straight down the middle. I don't even have to be particularly neat about it. Down the sides. So this is sort of like, if you're new to blends, this is sort of like a good cheats way to learn where to put shading, and so that you know where you can put shading and shine and that type of thing. So it's really, really simple. And then with your light one, it really is a cheats way, isn't it? And then over the top of the dark and into the light. So the boots are super, super simple. The pot is super, super simple. The leaves did have a little bit more involved in it. So, sorry, I can't talk and colour at the same time. I've never been very good at that. Okay, so you just colour in basically over the whole lot. And that gives you a whole new complete look, which I actually quite like. I like a bit more of the solid look. But then what I then tend to do is just go back and add a little bit more dark to a few areas, because then it really makes it look like it's been coloured, that you've actually coloured the whole thing yourself. So just add a little bit more around the top of the boot, a little bit more down detail around the bottom, around the toe. It sort of makes that shine pop up a little bit more. I'm really sad that you guys can't see, because normally I like to zoom in really, really close when I'm doing my colouring in so that you can actually see what I'm doing. And my hand is covering most of it as well, which is really annoying. So next we'll go on to the next boot. So hopefully this won't be too boring for you. And again, just add some dark around. You almost feel like you're cheating. but it gives your image a whole new look. So a little bit of dark there, and then we just come in with the light. Actually, I might try the light, the brush tip, although I feel like I'm bending my tip quite a bit. We'll see how we go. Just to fill in those areas, and then I'll come in with my bullet tip. And then again with my dark. Just around the edges. And when I bring this up, have a look and see how you can see the difference between one that has dried and one that is still wet. One that's still wet looks quite orange. So really, really simple. I will go on and do you want to see more, or are you happy with that? We'll do the leaves because the leaves are quite a bit tricky. And they're not tricky, they're just a little bit more involved. So stamping in Old Olive. And my Old Olive blends. Now this one I'd definitely be using, and it's quite dark, okay? So you just want to, I don't go the entire, I'll bring it up and show you. So rather than going over the entire area, I'm only just going to pick up little bits of it. So because the blends in this one is quite dark. So just, and then that way I can come in with my lighter one after. So it doesn't take too long. Okay, so this is going to look really messy, but you can see the first layer that's gone down, and then just add a little bit of the light. Now there is a lot of white space in these ones here, so what I did was actually come in with my color lifter afterwards. So I don't want to color in the whole petal, leaf. They're leaves, aren't they? Oh, I love this type of technique. Just adds a little bit more. I mean, like I said, you can go over it with your water painter, and that's super, super quick. But this gives a completely different look again. So although it does take a little bit longer than just your usual stamp and go, sometimes you want a different look. So I think that's pretty as well. Now it's going to look like a right mess when I bring it up to the screen again. Okay, that looks a dreadful mess. So just in the little areas where it's gone from darker to lighter, just go over that little section again. There's probably only a couple of places that you need to go with your light again. And don't go over the whole area, just go over where the little line is to blend that out a little bit. And then what I did was come in with my color lifter. Hello, Deb. So where I've got the white spaces here, I'm just going to soften them out with my color lifter, and that'll just sort of enhance those little white areas. And if you get stuck with what's supposed to be white and what isn't, you just look at the stamp set again. So, and then once it settles and it dries and you've got it in your card, it actually doesn't look too bad. So that one was super easy. The petals, tulip flower heads are pretty easy. Now these guys are pretty rich as well. I'm going to stamp them over here. Okay, so they come up pretty rich. That's a nice, that is a really nice, woo, where are we? Okay, so when, and the blends are really intense as well. So you just want to go super lightly and just put a tiny little bit of the dark, and I'll bring it up to the camera again. I perhaps should have done this one as a video only, but so that's all I've done for this one. You can see I've got to get my lighting sorted out. I really have to. I've got my, and watch what happens when so I've got my light here. You can see it up in the corner, and I've got it standing upright. It's open right up. But when I start to lower it down to try and get more, I get the rolling. It's like, ah! So I have to have that one open right up. And I'm scared to buy lamps in case, like lighting, in case they don't actually do what I want it, you know, in case I get that rolling, or so I'm sort of not sure what to do. All right, so now I'm coming in with my light and I'm just going over the areas where the little dots are on my image, because they get lost in this image, I think, and you sort of have a hard time distinguishing what's flowers and what's not flowers, if you get what I mean. You lose a bit of the detail. And then again with your color lifter, I'll just bring that up. And then with your color lifter, I just did exactly the same thing. So where you've got the white, I just went over with my color lifter just to soften that edge. And if I have got any of it, because this image is made up of little dots, and if you do have any of those little dots that you haven't gone over, the color lifter sort of bleeds them slightly, not a huge amount, because the ink pads are water-based and we're using alcohol markers, so they're not supposed to bleed, but it does soften them just a smidge. And again, I'm just using plain old basic white for all my coloring. Now, how vibrant they are. That's so cool. Now our pot comes last, and I'm doing that one in Pool Party. Now, I've got some more designer series paper. I have run out of the frame rate on my camera. My camera is just my iPhone, so I'm not sure what goes on there. So maybe I'll have to look it up a little bit. Go and do some more research. Or maybe if I get paid a little bit more from YouTube, maybe I can invest in some proper equipment. Okay, so I've run out of this designer series paper out of my little stash. So while I'm continuing to color, you guys can pick. I'm sort of leaning towards that one. While I keep coloring, you guys can tell me. So I like the blue and the green. This one will match as well as the background, and this one will also match. So I've got the 3 to choose from. So you guys can pick which one while I'm coloring this last image. So I've got the blue-green, I've got the pink clouds, or I've got the blue clouds. So pop your comments in of which background I should use. I'm looking for these ones. And this pot is just such a delight to use. It's like doing the boots. You just pop your dark where the dark is, down the side, across the middle. And look, you don't even have to be neat about it. You just scribble it on. So if you come across another pot that doesn't have any details in it, it's just an outline, you'll get a rough idea of where you need to colour when you're doing your own pots. Blue cloud, blue green. Okay, I'll have to wait for a few more and see who. All right, so just go straight over the top. I'm sure there's probably camera settings in, like settings for the camera in my iPhone as well. So I'll have to go and have a little looky. All right, see, that looks like a mess at the moment. Right, so I'll bring that up. It looks a bit like a mess. Then just with your light, I just go over my darker areas and extend a little bit, because my light areas will stay light now. Because you can layer up as much colour as you like with these blends. You can just keep on going over and over and over. Blue green, 2 for blue green. Right, and then come in with the dark again. And I don't add as much dark, but I still just do want to add a bit more. And under that little ridge, now my other pot. There we go. And then of course once it dries it looks completely different again. So even if you give it a moment to just let it settle into the paper and then come back and add a bit more. So just a tiny bit more under that little ridge there, under that lip that you would get in a potted plant. Okay, so there we go. Okie dokie. Do we want to keep going? Are we happy to keep watching? I know that we've been half an hour already. We might as well. I've asked you to pick out designer series paper for me. Okay, and I will stamp. My happy birthday is from the Artistically Inked stamp set, because I need to get my birthday cards out for the month. I'm a bit behind. I don't know why I cleaned that one. I haven't cleaned any of my other ones. And yeah, I cleaned that one. Okay, I'm going to whiz through quickly, or at least I hope it will be quickly, with the dies. It's a mess. All right, excuse me. I have to stand up to get this over. Yeah, I wonder if I can be good. Maybe I'll use some post-it notes and try and get more than one out at a time. I wonder if I can be tricky and do this. Or is this a bit scary? Do you like to do all your cutting out at once, or do you do them individually just in case? All right, I've got them all lined up. I'm gonna be really brave. Ah. So tell me, do you like to do them all at once, or do you? Here we go. If I just go slowly, hopefully that. Oh, remove your finger from the edge there when you go through to prevent your finger being squashed. There we go. I think I did it. I was doing one yesterday and my die slipped. Yay, look at that. My die had slipped after I'd finished colouring it all out. And I was like, oh, man, that's the worst, isn't it? There we go. Well, that made light work, didn't it? Very good. Okay, I think we're going for blue-green. Unless anyone else wants to jump in quickly. Okay, and I'll just have to trim my sentiment now all at once. Oh, it's a risky move. I think it's a risky move. But we can be brave, right? So trim. I like nice thin sentiments so that I can put them over the top of my images. Okay, so we are going, I've already got my card base. So, and there's not a lot else involved. I was going to try and blue-green, okay, and we definitely want lots of blue-green in there. So, blue-green. There you go. See how easy it is when you work in inches, because all you have to do is line them up with the lines on your board there. I'm finding it super easy rather than going to, you know, centimeters and point this and that. And here we go. Looking for my burn folder. There we go. I just love that paper. Isn't that beautiful? So gorgeous. Right. Okay. So we want to stick our goodies together. Now, I do recommend using a fine tip if you've got a glue that comes out at all. I've been using this one a fair bit. I think I've blocked the nozzle. So this one, because you don't want a lot at all, because you only want to put it along that top. You only want to put your glue along that top. Whoop, hello. Along that area there, because, and you only need a tiny little bit of it because it will gush everywhere, and then you will have glue all over your beautifully colored image, and we don't want that. Okay, so that one can go down, and then I just pop like a dot at the top of these guys. Oops, I was going to do one on the left then. So only a dot on them, and then they will stick to the top there. Just get them all lined up. So you don't want anything that's going to come out like super fast, because you'll end up with glue everywhere. Now, I was like, when I had originally started doing my card, I thought, oh, I'm going to do heaps of layers, and I was actually going to use all 3 of those designer series paper on my card. And then I put down my first layer, and then I just put my flowering rain boots on top, and I was like, you know what? I think that's enough, because we've got a pretty big image. We've got lots going on in the designer series paper, even though it's only like a couple of colors, and especially with these ones here, it's only just the one color, but there's a lot of pattern and coloring going on within that. And I thought, that's it. That's all I need. Okay, so we need I'm just going to put 1 on the pot, and then quite a few on these guys, and then also some mini ones at the back of the flower head. And then I will need one for my birthday as well. So I think the card comes up pretty good. Get these off. And put that down. Very nice. This is going to be pretty. And then I'm just going to pop that, tuck it behind the toe and stick it out the front there. So it's behind the toe and out in the front. And then we want our happy birthday. So I'll put my dimensional on the Y side. Do check, because there's been plenty of times where I have stuck it on the wrong side. A little bit of glue. You can use whichever glue you like. yes, you can use this technique for all sorts, like just adding over your, I tell you, the other one is the Timeless Tulips. That one is a really nice one to add extra enhancement to as well. There we go. Happy birthday. I think that's looking pretty cool. I really like that background with this one. Okay, it sort of reminds me of, like, you know, the scenes where you see the old potted plants in the old shed styled thing. Okay, so now what I'm looking for, oh, my butterflies. I'll put a few butterflies on. These are awesome, and look how thin they are. They are, I don't know whether you can see that, they are super thin, so they're quite flat and they stick flat to your card, which I think is really nice. But they've got that nice, you know, when you turn your card, they pick up that little bit of brassy shine, and they're small enough that you can pop around your little flower heads. So there we go. So if you are doing my Rain Boots class, I have added a few in there where we add the water to it, but if you have the blends and you want to take it up that further notch, then by all means you can do that with your cards that you're going to create in Class by Mail. So there's our two different ones with our two different backgrounds. I'm really liking that more than what I thought I would, actually. And just to show the difference again, in case you have come in a little bit late, here's what it looks like when it's just been stamped, which is the quick and easy version. That one doesn't take very long at all when you're just stamping. And if you want a little bit more, especially when you've got a pretty solid background as well, I think the solid images come up a lot nicer. So there you go. I hope that this little technique has helped you out if you want to change the look of your images. Flowering flowers. Ooh, I don't think I know that one. I'll have to go and have a look. But although there's lots of ones that I don't know the names for, so there's too much stuff that we have. You can't remember the names of everything now, can you? Get pretty good, but not that quite good. Okay, well, thank you very much for joining me. So don't forget, if you are subscribed to my newsletter, then I'll just bring that up again. Let me just find that one. So if you are subscribed to my newsletter, which you can do so over at my website, then this will be going out as a written tutorial tomorrow morning. So, but thanks very much for watching me. I can see everyone leaving, so I'm going to leave too. Bye. Page 36. Okay, I'll go and check that out. See you later.